Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm pleased to take an initial call on this committee stage of the purpose of the bill. Of all the bills that have come and indeed might come into this House, a bill that seeks to establish or purports to establish an Environmental Protection Authority would be the bill of all others that the Greens would want to support, and indeed we did support to first reading, in the hope, a forlorn hope as it has proven, that we could get sufficient movement on the bill and the provisions of the bill at the select committee stage that it might be something we could continue to support. And regrettably that has not happened. The bill in its somewhat amended form is still far short of anything that we could actually put our name to willingly. As I say, of all other things, a Green Party that grew in part as the parliamentary wing of the broader environmental movement would seek, and indeed it has long been our policy, to see the establishment of an environmental protection agency, an authority. Ecological wisdom being one of our core principles. Indeed, some would have it we should stick to environmental issues and not engage in other social or economic. Of course, that is a nonsense, given that we know that protection of the environment is also protection of our communities, of our people, and of all the countries in the world. And New Zealand is economically reliant on the quality of our environment. If we do not have a clean, green environment, we have a very, very vulnerable economy. Those links are very well made. For that reason, it is essential indeed that we do establish some sort of well-resourced, strongly autonomous authority that has real authority to make decisions, to make determinations in the event that applications are made for developments, for projects, whatever it might be, that have an environmental effect, in particular an adverse environmental effect. There is a great deal of potential support in the Minister must be pleased by the quality of the submissions that came in against this bill from groups like the Environmental Defence Society, like ECO, the Environment and Conservation Organisations, the Umbrella Group, Forest and Bird, numerous smaller but very credible and very articulate groups who had opinions about this. And for so many of them, the recurring theme was, where is the authority, where is the power, where is the autonomy of this organisation? One is looking, the purpose is to establish an environmental protection authority. The challenge we put back is, where is the authority in this agency, given that the status of the agency will be such that they are liable to ministerial direction. They are obliged to accept ministerial direction of the three levels, if you like, under the Crown Entities Act. This is the weakest form of Crown entity that one can have. And that's unfortunate. If this authority actually had some genuine autonomy, if it was able to stand up to a minister, be it this minister or indeed any other who might be seen to be swayed perhaps or persuaded for whatever reasons that a particular development was desirable, this agency must genuinely have the authority to say no. We need an organisation that can say no, and it's our clear belief that the purpose of this agency, this authority, as the bill is modelled, is to be an authority that is empowered to say yes more quickly. We've heard much talk about streamlining, about efficiency, about simplification, specifically of the RMA, and those are good things. I'm not a person that believes that public processes, be they environmental or any other, should be deliberately complex or convoluted or lead to significant delays, be it for developers, for those opposing or supporting development. In this instance, however, I do think that the rhetoric about balance between the economy and the environment is purely that. It is rhetoric. That framework, that framing of the argument that we must achieve balance, it simply denies the reality that you cannot balance environmental degradation, which tends to be at least long-term, if not permanent, against some perceived or hoped for short-term economic gain. So in terms of the purpose of this Act, we will change and have made the decision we will no longer support this bill because there is simply nothing in it that gives us any satisfaction that it will be a genuine protection agency.